Okay. Wow.
So excited.
I have been so excited for this guest. For once, I think I should do the intro.
You really should. I was just going to say that.
Carolina usually does it, and she does this crazy stream of consciousness
really good
thing.
intros.
It is really fun, and I probably won't do it justice at all. But
Tried.
okay. Okay. Our guest today is someone that I met organically out in the world. Literally, it was like the Lord was like, these two must meet. I was wearing this very sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And never have I felt such an immediate connection.
It was kismet.
To a
It
girl. It
was.
was absolute kismet. Troy has podcasts that seem as though they were tailored to my interests specifically.
Your audience.
First, yeah, I am your
Literally.
demographic.
My demo.
First you had Dunzo, which was about celebrity breakups. What is more fascinating? Now you do a blind item pod called Beyond the Blinds with our friend Kelly, who, I mean, it's literally just like a deep fucking dive in the juiciest, like dishiest shit. It is so fun to listen to. You feel smarter. You feel like you know more than anyone after you listen to it. And you look at celebrities like this after. It's just incredible. He moved to New York at like, I felt like I manifested that. Like I was just like, Troy needs to be in New York immediately. So he moved here and now he's a West Village Carrie Bradshaw bitch. And just literally a blessing for the city. Ladies and gentlemen, Troy McEady.
Oh my God.
That's a good one.
That
Yeah?
was, I need that
Thanks.
clipped and I need it to play at my funeral. Like
okay,
I
we
need
can
it.
clip it. We can clip it for you.
That
Just for
was
you to have.
amazing. That was incredible.
Thank you so much. I meant every word. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I know. I'm so excited.
I've been binging.
Really?
Binging this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I've
an
been
honor.
laying in bed and hitting the vape and just watching you guys talk
Love
to
it.
people.
That's what this is
Wow.
for.
Yeah.
It's actually for vapists. That's
Yeah.
our demographic. Curlies who vape.
Curly's
and
who
try to
vape.
quit.
And try to, and are dying to quit. I'm dying to quit.
Whatever.
But I'm
Make it-
also like itching to get a new one.
It's
Yeah.
constant attempts to quit and then be like, I want to do it just one more time.
You said
Yeah.
you did though. Didn't you just say you quit a little?
I actually haven't really vaped since summer.
Oh, okay. And what
Just today.
is this your first one?
I decided randomly I had a wild hair at my ass and I was like, I kind of want another vape.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I'm separated enough from, like, I'm far enough
Right.
away from it now that like I can dabble
Right.
And be more controlled.
and be
Yeah.
more controlled and dip my toe, but not.
That's how I am.
She's
I was
doing
bad.
that. I'm
We were,
bad.
I just remember that one night we had, where did we go? Like Stonewall or something
Yeah.
random. Like Troy and I will go to like the Monster Stonewall, like classic spots. And I just remember us, tequila, everything. We were
Just-
going crazy. I think that was the first weekend that we met. It was
Yeah.
like we met and then I like didn't want to be creepy. You guys didn't want to be creepy, but I was like, what are you guys doing tonight? You know, we like ended up like, you know, hanging out and we had so much fun and vaped hard.
a lot.
I
We
vaped
passed the
hard.
vape all night
I vape
long.
hard.
Yeah.
Harder than my husband who also vapes. And then when he can't find his vape, he's like, babe, did you take my vape? And he comes over to me and he's like,
Feels your tits.
feels my
Tits
tits
on the spots.
because it's usually in there. I do steal his vape. I'm a thief.
Oh, that's so convenient to be able to just pull vapes out of your
Out of
ball,
your
like,
titties.
hello.
Yeah, I know. Nature's
I also
storage
put it
unit.
in my waistband all the time and kind of just holster it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I really only vape around Carolina because I can just always find them, and yeah, it's convenient.
You shake and they just start coming out. They just fly out.
Pinata, yeah. Okay, well, let's do a check-in.
Yeah.
How are you? What is going on?
How's your week so far? If you want to add in last week, since it's not that much of this
Yeah.
week, what's the vibe?
It's Thursday.
My week has been honestly pretty chill. It shouldn't be. Like, I should be more proactive about the things that are going on in my life. Like, I'm trying to move. I'm trying to like do things, but
Where you going?
I hate my apartment building. I really, really
Can we
hate
talk
it.
where
about
are
it
you
a little bit, or do you
Yeah,
not want to
we can
talk about it?
about it.
Because like, I was like, when Troy told me where he was moving, which is to the West Village,
Yeah.
I was like, go off, girly.
Yes.
What a fun first New York neighborhood, like
Then you
Sex
saw
and
my
the City
apartment.
girlies. Yeah. And well, no, I still liked your apartment. It is a classic studio leaning one bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
is it priced too high? Yes.
Yeah.
Is there an outside garden? Yes.
Yeah.
Does Bradley Cooper live nearby?
Yeah. I see him every day.
Oh.
So
I see him
These are
almost
I
every
didn't
day.
know he lived in New York.
I see him almost every
I
day.
always think of him as an LA girly. I love that he lives here.
He's right around the corner from me, and I am so used to seeing
You're gonna
him
miss
now.
him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss him.
yeah.
He might be the reason I stay. I'm not gonna lie. But actually, I have a really funny. I was telling your producer about this before, but I have a very funny apartment story to tell you that I haven't even told you yet.
Okay, great.
So now there's always issues with my apartment, and it's like laughable. Now my door handle doesn't turn, so I can't. Like there are times when I can't get either in or out.
So you're like stuck
I
inside.
am literally stuck
Trapped.
inside.
And
like,
then how do you get out?
well, so the first time this happened, I didn't know that it was like, I didn't know what was going on. So I called my landlord, as one does. And he came over. He's Russian. He's actually kind of hot, but he's Russian. And he like is a shitty landlord, but like he's hot. So I let him.
You let it slide.
I let it slide.
Does he know he's hot?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah, he does. And he knows I'm gay. And he knows that all it takes is a little twinkle of the eye and I'll let him get away with murder. So he comes over, or I called him and I'm like, my door handle won't turn. I can't get into my apartment. And as I'm talking to him on the phone, I hear somebody in my apartment.
No.
Okay. And they're like rustling around. I hear shit falling and I heard like my window open and I was like, what the fuck is going
Oh
on?
my God.
My landlord, my hot Russian landlord, scaled the building and crawled in my window without telling me. So he's like very good at that,
Okay.
apparently. He like knows how to do that. And he got locked inside my building. He got locked in the apartment. He couldn't get out.
Oh my God.
So he's locked in. I'm locked out. Okay.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Did he
Horny.
do this after you called him and told him that you were locked out?
He did
Or
it
was he
while-
already in there?
He
Oh,
did
no,
it
no,
while
no.
I was on the
Okay,
phone because
okay,
he's
okay.
close. I think
Okay.
they're like next door or something.
Okay.
I don't even know. But like then he got out and he was holding like this gnarled spoon. And one of my
Oh my
spoons,
God.
he used a spoon
To open the door.
to open the door. And I was like, so what am I supposed to do? Like, what do I do? Like, I can't leave.
yeah.
And he was like, until I come back, carry spoon. And this man has the gall to hand me my own gnarled spoon. As if he brought something to help me.
You're welcome. Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me?
come back, carry spoon. Wait, so was this recently?
Yes.
Did he fix the door? Did he give you a new lock?
No.
What?
He came over and he did something to it and it still doesn't turn. Like I can get in, but like it doesn't really work.
Right. How turned on were you by him scaling your
Oh
building
my
and
God.
climbing
I
through
was
the
like-
window?
When I even watching him like
Handle that
show,
spoon.
'cause he showed me how to use the spoon and it was very Ghost.
Yeah.
It was
He was
very,
behind you. Yeah.
oh my. It was very that. Like he was like
Yeah.
holding my waist.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
No, it
hot.
was a
Wait,
mess.
is that the window that's facing the street? Did you
Yeah.
scale the front of the building, like by the deli? That
Yeah.
is so funny.
Like I don't even know what he used
It's a very
to climb.
public street.
Maybe
Like
he had a
that's
rope.
hilarious.
Maybe he had
Oh
a
my
rope.
God.
Maybe he had a rope. Maybe he's done it before.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely has.
Because he was very, very comfortable doing
comfortable
it.
with
It
it.
was like, oh,
Wow.
okay.
You're
you
not
did
the
that
only doorman that doesn't work.
right, literally.
That's
He's
such
just
a
scaling
first,
that building and popping into windows.
It's a first year in New York story.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
I feel like the first year's insane. You know, we're
I
one.
wouldn't know.
But yeah, I had an
I was born
insane
here.
first year. Yeah.
If he wasn't attractive, he'd be in prison. Let's just say that.
100%.
That's true. That's true.
If he wasn't
100%.
attractive
An
He could be in jail.
attractive, charming Russian of very little words.
and he kept telling me, it's okay. And I was like, no, but it's not.
It's not. That's
It's
so
not,
funny.
though. You can't just say that.
Okay, so how did you get out of your apartment today? The spoon?
So he fixed it enough that as long as I have my key and I turn the key,
Okay.
and like it's a whole thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
I gotta like hit it with an elbow
Sure.
and
But you're relatively
Jig it.
unstressed by
Yeah.
this. You're not.
no.
Yeah. I
I'm
love
like,
that.
whatever. I don't
Yeah.
care.
That's a New
that's how I
Yorker,
kind
baby.
of get too. Yeah.
That's how you know you're becoming a New
100%.
Yorker.
Because it's like,
That's
what's
so true.
it's kind of out of sight, out of mind too. And it's like, this seems like a problem for, 4 p.m. me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
if
love
I was
that.
still in the Midwest, this would not be okay.
It would not be okay.
I would be at small claims court.
Calling the manager.
I would- yeah.
100%. 100%. Do you feel like you've adjusted fully?
Not fully, but like way more than I expected
Yeah.
in a year.
Yeah. I mean, when I first met you, I was like, he's gonna be completely fine.
Yeah.
Like 1,000,000%. fine. And I feel like you have been, especially with all of the shit that you've dealt with.
Yeah.
I won't say exactly what, but he had some unexpected roommates. And
There's
I'm
a
sure the
mice
Russian
issue,
man.
too.
Oh my God.
There's
It
a
wasn't
mice
the
issue,
Russian
too.
man say
Russian man is
about
not.
that.
Um,
I'm screaming. This Russian
Literally.
man seems to be getting away with
It's kind of
a
insane.
lot.
It's insane.
If it was me, I can't get away with
Well,
nothing.
because the day that we were like, Troy and I went to go see Jerry Halliwell at the Union Square Barnes and Noble. And I, of course, was like, hell yeah, can't wait. She's going to be like, you guys come hang out. Didn't even think about tickets, nothing. So Troy and I get there and there's a massive line. And I'm like, do I just get in this line or what? And they're like, do you have a ticket? And I was like, no, like what? And Troy is so good about getting us tickets to everything. Troy got us stuff to like Vanderpump Rules parties, blah, blah, blah. And of course, I'm like, let's just show up. So it was like so annoying. But
It worked out, though.
It worked out great. We had a great moment with her. Like she was just like walking toward.
Oh, so you got to go in?
We did. We got to watch, but we had to stand. And we
Mhm.
did not get a signed book, which was okay.
yeah.
Was okay.
I don't know if I want that book.
I don't think I do.
Jerry
either.
Halliwell is writing like, what would you even categorize? it?
YA.
Yeah, it's like
Is
it's
she?
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Actually, you might love it. She loves
I might
quests
love
and
it.
shit.
Really?
I
She
do love
loves.
Questy. Why do you think I want to be a celestial being?
Oh my God. Okay. You actually might love it. It's like it's about a woman with red hair who's like slaying dragons or something.
Yeah.
It's very that.
Very
It's
much
like
in my
Hunger
bag.
Games, but like really tame.
Very
Probably.
much in my bag.
Wait, so were
you
you
don't even know. I'm gonna
I
read
don't
it.
know.
I'm
were
gonna
you
find
Yeah,
it.
into
order
like
it.
all of the young like the YA movies like Maze Runner and shit too?
All of them. Yes.
Okay.
Read all
What was
those
your
books.
favorite?
I am a Hunger Games girl and
Okay.
obviously a
I
Harry
know
Potter
Hunger
girl.
Games.
Okay. Did you see the new
Yeah.
Hunger Games?
Yeah, I did.
Did you like it?
I did.
Okay.
I saw it all.
Wait, I had to have known about that. When was the new Hunger Games? That was still a
It
long
just
time
came
ago,
out.
right?
Yeah, it just came out.
It wasn't that
Right
long
now?
ago.
Yeah.
It's probably still in the theaters, right?
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it a musical?
How did I not
I
know
want to
about
see
this?
Mean Girls.
I do want to see Mean Girls too. Wait, who's in Hunger Games? Jennifer Lawrence? No.
No.
Who is it?
No, it's
Did I
what is
not know
that
about
girl's
this?
name? The girl that everybody got mad at for being Snow White, and she was like, I don't think Rachel Zilzal.
Oh yeah, I forget what.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Rachel Zilzal.
Is it a musical? Do they sing?
No, she sings, but it's not a musical. Her thing is that she sings.
Okay.
She's like her character is kind of like
It
this
sounds
like
awful.
gypsy. It's
It sounds so
not.
bad.
It's
This
not.
sounds trash.
She's kind of
trash,
like this, like
trash.
you know, she's from District 12. Like Katniss was from District 12, but it's the prequel. And she's like a gypsy singer, and then she gets called into the Hunger
A
Games.
gypsy
Okay.
singer. Quote that. That's a Carolina quote.
She was like a gypsy
Carolina's
singer.
canceled.
Why?
Whatever.
Well, she didn't call it. Is gypsy? Are we not allowed to say gypsy anymore?
I think only in
not
the Lady
supposed to.
only in Lady Gaga context.
Ah,
Yeah.
You can
Only
sing the
Lady
song.
Gaga
You
and
can sing the
Cher.
song, and and share.
That's
That's it.
so funny.
Lady
My
Gaga context.
my cousin's grandma, who's not my grandma by like, you know, not by blood. She's not my grandma, but she was British, and she always used to call people gypsies, and she always used to be like,
It's definitely
like
a grandma
bloody
word.
gypsy. She's British. She'd be like bloody gypsy. Come on, let's fix your hair.
Oh
Come
my
in.
God. That's iconic.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to the
Wow.
queen.
I'm wondering if we're gonna keep that in. I hope we do. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely no offense. I did not know it was a bad word. I'm just saying I grew
No,
up
it's
with that
fine.
word, and now I know, and I'm changed.
And I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry.
And I didn't mean it.
I've done the work.
Yeah. How's your mental state? You seem good.
Me, I'm in such a good mood right now. I've
Yeah.
been a little anxious.
Uh-huh.
I've had a hard time sleeping this week, but I'm in a really good mood right now and today. And you
Yeah.
know what? I went to.
It's because we FaceTimed in the morning.
Oh, it might be.
It is.
It might be. I went to go see our friend Marie's show last night. That put me in
Yes.
a good mood.
Wait, do you know
Um,
Marie? No, maybe not.
I don't
Let's
think so.
introduce you to Marie.
Oh my
She's
God.
so good.
She is so funny. And she has this show called Why Are You Single? And it's basically like a dating talk show. She did it at the Bell House.
Oh, cool.
And it was like sold out. Everyone was loving it. It's so fun and funny.
Yeah,
So it was really good.
I love it.
I told you I this guy that I met backstage, I told him to hold my leg so I could post a picture of it to make Comedy jealous.
Right.
It did not work.
Well,
like to sensually hold it.
Yeah,
it
like-
wasn't sensual, but Carolina
But I
has.
think it looked hot. He had a nice hand. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It did look kind of hot.
I'm gonna show it to you, and you
Am I
tell
your
me if you
background?
think.
Oh my
I mean, it changes.
God.
It's it shuffles.
She's obsessed with
She said,
me.
"Not you are today."
Sometimes.
You are this hour.
Don't get excited.
Yeah.
Well, we have to explain the foot thing to Troy because Carolina's
It's not
main
sensual.
move.
It could have been.
It's
What do you
giving
mean?
hold my
Look
foot
at his
and take a picture.
hands.
It's too delicately
Show the
placed.
camera.
He should have held your calf.
Yes, two
Well,
hands.
he was standing
Okay,
and I
hot.
was sitting down. And I kind of didn't really give him a choice. I kind of was like, hold my foot.
I can see that happening.
His hand just went out.
Tell Troy your theory and your
Okay,
move.
my belief in shoe tying, which actually I need to do. I forgot about this, but I saw this thing about the orange peel theory on TikTok, but I can't explain it because I don't remember what everything was. But it reminded me of my shoe tying theory, which is if you're on a date or I wouldn't do it on the first date. I would just decide you like the person, I feel like. So second or third date, wear a shoe that, like a sneaker or a shoe that needs to be tied, get that bitch loose and then ask the person to tie your shoe.
Okay.
And I feel like their response to tying to your shoe is everything.
That's interesting.
It is everything to me. And one of the things that I love about my husband is that I don't even have to ask him to tie my shoe. He just ties my
She
shoe.
just goes,
I kind of
or
honestly,
he
I
just
love
sees
that.
it and he ties the shoe.
yeah.
And I believe in that so much.
That sounds like, the shopping cart theory?
No, what's that?
That there's a theory that you can tell what kind of person somebody is by if they return a shopping cart, because it's you don't have to do that, but it is.
I like that.
It's a very noble thing to do.
Yeah, and I actually do feel like it's kind of fucked up because then they're running into cars and people are getting fucked up.
It is
you
cruel.
Yeah.
To not put it back, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like that to me.
Yeah. And I also don't like when people act like they don't want to give you their shopping cart.
Oh my God.
It's like you just put your stuff away. Give me
This
the
is out of my
shopping cart.
jurisdiction. I actually don't
You
know.
don't do shopping carts.
I'm thinking Midwest as well. I'm going back years to remember this. I really, as I've mentioned, do not like to go in those stores.
She doesn't like grocery shopping. I love grocery shopping.
I do too.
I love being in a grocery store.
Why don't you like it? What do you not like about it?
The lighting.
Okay,
the
overhead
general
lighting.
vibe.
Obsessed with lighting.
Okay. Go ahead, Mariah.
No camaraderie in the community there in a Trader Joe's. And then on top of it in Trader Joe's, there's people who are way too excited to see you and putting a lot on me.
Well, I will say in
and
Trader
then
Joe's
otherwise everyone's like,
specifically,
move, and then a line around to
Trader Joe's in the city is no one's favorite grocery store.
It has its own culture.
It has its own culture, and it's just not like regular grocery store energy to me. I feel like Trader Joe's in Manhattan it's a violent place.
I will
it can
go
be
to a
violent.
gourmet
It feels
garage.
like there's competition for the food. It feels like the people there are just kind of like grabbing as much as they can of like a Japanese fried rice. And
it brings something dark out in people.
It does. And then the poor people that work there, I only say poor because it's like they're forced to be all cheery and happy, but they know that everyone around them has an evil energy.
Right. And they're all shopping to make TikToks. Not because they want to. It's like they're shopping to post the food that they bought on Instagram, But I like a regular, just, basic ass, Acme style kind of grocery store.
What is
I don't know Acme. Is that Ohio?
Is that Ohio?
No, it's in Jersey too. I thought you guys
really?
were. I thought it was maybe in the city.
You
But
mean
just
like a Stop and Shop? You know what a Stop and Shop is?
Don't like that.
You don't like Stop and Shop?
No, but don't. I will deal sometimes when I leave the gym. I will go to Gourmet Garage and get. Honestly, if you saw what I get when I'm grocery shopping, you'd be like, "You're unwell," because I'll be like, "Shrimp cocktail."
It
fun.
honestly would make sense to me.
I've seen her walk through a store and grocery shop in different countries and in this one. I don't know what she's talking about. She is unwell.
Yeah,
it's like prosciutto, the prosciutto wrapped cheese, another piece of cheese, crackers.
I feel like your grocery shopping would define girl dinner.
Yes.
It is like
when
the
I saw
purest
girl dinner, I was
dinner.
like, "Wow."
She was like, "Girl dinner, Melissa dinner."
This is true.
My dinners are full dinners.
She does cook a lot.
I cook a meal. You're getting the vegetable. You're getting a full meal. And when I go to the grocery store, I go to the grocery store to buy my groceries for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm grocery shopping. Then I gotta jump into.
How do you know what you're gonna want to eat in 2 weeks?
Because I know what I want to cook. I know what I want to cook.
Whatever.
I know what I have to make and what I want to make.
This is lovely.
And then I try. I know it's so lovely. Give me that. Sorry, Troy.
No, it's okay.
Well, yeah. Now
Sorry,
that we've
Troy.
discussed my grocery shopping, it's so vulnerable for the audience. Troy, we talked about. Well, first of all, we can't not talk Brittany, as you just know more than anyone. We did an episode on the divine feminine, and I was so upset. We did it before the book came out. and I was like, "Ugh, are we gonna have to do another Divine Feminine episode about Britney Spears?" Because I was like, nothing encapsulates the Divine Feminine more than Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And I feel like we had a conversation that was kind of like, her role was so more than we've asked of anyone. I mean, obviously the Marilyn Monroe of it all, but the projection onto her of our fantasies, of our everything, the tearing down. I guess like my question is, what about her kind of gives Divine Feminine to you and in our culture?
Well, I think that what's interesting about her is like you can look back at her at any time in her life, like from the time she was like 16 to now. And like she really reflects how we view women during the time, whatever time it is.
Yeah.
And like I was reading this thing about in the 90s, like when she came out, we were like really buttoned up because it was post Monica Lewinsky. It was like right after. And she really was like one of the main celebrities that got like the brunt of us being like, sex is bad. Like women shouldn't have sex. Women should be covered up. Teenagers should be virgins. Like we just really went to like 20 years back as far as being like sexually free. And she was the first celebrity to really be affected by it. And it started then, and it's always been, it's crazy. I mean, just like everything, her virginity, our ownership of her virginity, our ownership of her body, who she slept with. I mean, it's just crazy.
Can we talk about the virginity pop star era for a moment? Like, what an insane, fucked up thing to experience.
Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
Her. I feel like Christina was like, I'm not in it. No,
Christina was like,
Christina was like,
yeah. Christina was like,
I've been.
Do you want to watch? Yeah, literally.
Even before Dirty, she was like, I'm a genie and I'm a
yeah.
And
She's like, I
her,
want you to know that I have been fucked.
and I'm
Don't
gonna do it
ask
again.
me. Don't ask me about my virginity.
even
But
ask.
I think even Mandy Moore was another one where it was like that whole like virginity, like, you know, good girl, like
yes.
very clean pop dance.
As she's
I'm
dating
craving
Wilmer
for
Valderrama.
you. Yes,
which was
as
crazy.
everyone did.
Also, can we talk about how like he was dating all these young bitches?
Lindsay
and
Lohan.
Lindsay
Ashley
Lohan.
Simpson. I
Demi
didn't steal your
Lovato.
boyfriend.
Yeah. Demi
Lovato, poor Demi Lovato. She really was so much
She
younger
loved
than
him.
him, and she loved him. And you know, do you know her song where she's like, I was 17. I mean, poor Demi. She's been through so much, and she can sing.
Someone
but
make
I really
a
don't
playlist.
like him.
Someone make a playlist of all the
All the
songs
women
about Wilmer Valderrama.
Oh my
Fez
God.
from that 70s show.
I
Inspired
cannot
some of our
believe.
greatest music. It's insane.
He just gives me that. You just know he talks crazy to
That's
these
a
girls.
Los Angeles
He's like, "Mommy, I love you
byproduct.
so
You know what I
much."
mean?
You know what I mean?
I don't
Yes.
think he would thrive as well in New York. Like that was like
I
in
agree.
LA,
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
era. Like
Absolutely.
it's really upsetting the men in that region.
The virginity shit is like crazy though. Cause like
it is.
it's just weird when you look back at like adults asking kids if they've had sex in live interviews.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yes.
Like that's absolutely wild.
And it didn't even end that long ago because the Jonas Brothers were kind of dealing with that.
like
Like
the
it really
second
went
wave.
on.
Yeah, but the Jonas Brothers, nobody asked them for that. That was them volunteering being Mormon and shit.
Well, the
What's that?
Disney
They
of
were
it all.
Oh, yeah, okay. But they were
You know.
Mormons, no?
I don't think so. I think they were just super Christians.
Oh.
Well, and it's
like
so
mega church Christian.
Ah.
gross. It's also crazy the Zoe 101 situation. Like if that had happened to Britney,
Mhm.
like I think that she got so much more grace.
Yeah.
And granted, it was a little bit later and everything, but like
Well, when she
had
got pregnant?
had
Yeah.
Britney
Jamie Lynn
kept
Spears.
the baby,
yeah.
I think it would have been like, I
would
mean,
have ruined her.
it would have ruined her.
She would not be who she got to become. But also,
Yeah.
it's like, did she
Oh, dude,
even really need to
I
become
don't know
that
what
person?
this. Yeah, there's
what
no
cost?
solution.
Right.
There's no whatever. But like, I think Jamie Lynn was handled so much differently, and I feel like that's probably part of Britney's resentment.
And I mean, and honestly, she's so ungrateful.
She's such a bitch.
She's so ungrateful. Mommy, nobody would know who you were.
Please.
You wouldn't even know who you are if it wasn't for your sister.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
I had somebody on Dunzo, her name is Julia, and she is a psychiatrist, and we talked about like birth order and stuff with the Spears family and just how, you know, birth order played such a big part in like how it all ended up. But she actually brought up a point that Jamie Lynn, because I never thought about it this way, but she was like, Jamie Lynn was the golden child. And a lot of people think Britney was the golden child, but Britney was the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Brittany was the workhorse.
She was the workhorse. Jamie Lynn was the golden child. She didn't have to do anything. She didn't grow up poor.
Yep.
Her siblings grew up eating fucking possum and shit, and she grew up in a wealthy entertainment family.
Yeah.
Like it's so, and it like blew my mind.
Yeah, and they kind of robbed Kardashian, the brother. Like,
Yes,
it's like the little
yeah.
boy, we have the little prince we take care of. Yeah.
He played football in high school.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, totally.
Did
Oh my
it
God,
now.
that's so genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny to think of. And honestly, I mean, The Simpsons, I feel like it is a little different, but you know, Jessica carried this weight of financial responsibility from way before she even was like making money. Do you remember in her book, like the lottery ticket story? She won like $1,000 on like a scratch off in the car. And she was like, wasn't even excited. She was just like, well, yeah, this is my duty to make sure her family has money.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy. And I don't think that makes her necessarily the golden child.
She's
It's
another
like,
one. She also really went through it. And
Yes.
the whole virginity until she got married to Nick Lachey thing and
yeah,
all of that.
Of course.
And hers was, I feel like, even more fucked up in a way because she genuinely just wanted to be a virgin. And then
Yeah.
they were like, oh, well, Britney's doing this whole virgin thing, so now we're gonna take your virginity.
Well, now everyone's got to be a virgin.
Yeah, like let's market your like you losing your virginity, and then her like having to be so open about her and Nick having sex for the first time, and like it was just so, and like the Joe Simpson of it all,
It's
like
the Joe
ugh,
Simpson of it
crazy.
all.
The Joe.
When he's like crying, like literally like about to walk down the aisle, I was like, don't do it, Jessica. Like, what the- it's really insane. I'm like, we got to write a book. I don't know. It's really, it's.
I also
It's
to this
fucked up.
day like don't feel right about Nick Lachey.
Ugh,
I
speak on
mean,
it.
Yeah.
I don't
Talk
feel
about it.
right about Nick Lachey at all because one, he definitely cheated on her
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
times. Not even with Vanessa, but like he definitely cheated on her with Vanessa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all saw, like, they were caught all the time. And I just feel like he treated her like other people treated her. He didn't love her at all. He married her for publicity and he treated her. He hated her. He treated her like she was so dumb and she wasn't that dumb. She was just like a chill bitch.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, Jessica Simpson wasn't that dumb. You know why she's not that dumb? Who's richer now?
Who's a billionaire?
Who's a billionaire?
Not
100%.
Not
him.
Nick Lachey's love is
And she
blind
paid
ass.
him, and she paid him everything he wanted. She's like,
Yeah.
I will make more money. Like 100%. No, he was an aging boy bander.
Mhm.
He knew the writings on the wall for that scenario, reality TV, and also the Joe Simpson. He owes a lot to him because getting
Yeah.
him on reality television at that time, we would not even be talking about Nick Lachey right now.
Yeah, we wouldn't
if
even
he wouldn't have
remember
gotten
him.
that opportunity. No one's talking about 98 Degrees.
I
Are
think
you
that he
kidding?
resented her because her career
Was better than his.
her career went crazy with
Totally.
Newlyweds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think I've read that he said that Joe like tricked him into thinking that it would be like a launching pad for both of them. But
Yeah.
then when the show happened, Joe was like, I'm not gonna fuck about you. Like, I'm not trying to like, nobody cares about you.
Well, if you don't have the star power, you don't have the
That's
star
it.
power.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not up to Joe to
Sorry.
make you a star.
Exactly.
You both were on the show. America fell in love with Jessica because she was like funny and silly and just like kind of like whatever.
Herself.
Like magnetic.
And herself
Yes.
and magnetic.
Yeah.
And then she blew up and you're just jealous.
Well,
Right.
there's probably so many breakups that you talked about that are that scenario. Like, I think, imagine like being in that fucking mega mansion with their little dog and like Jessica just gonna be like, I don't know, everyone's obsessed with me, even though you think I'm stupid, and him having to like stomach that every night.
Mhm.
and being
like-
at home building IKEA furniture and like, you know, like power
And his
washing the
cutoffs,
driveway.
yeah, and his
like,
cutoffs and like backwards, like
Oh,
flat
yeah,
rim,
back
like,
with his cat,
Tim's.
with his
with his
his like
chain.
tribal tattoo.
Yes.
The
I
sundial
hated
around
those
his chain.
tats.
The
Oh my
sundial.
God, Nick Lachey.
Ugh.
Tragic.
Nick Lachey is 98 Degrees was like such a D list.
Oh my
Boy
God.
band.
Do you remember a song of theirs?
Yes.
What?
I do.
What song?
Give me just one night
Night, una
on a
noche.
noche.
That was that?
Also, This I Swear
I
is
didn't know
still
that.
them, or is that Nick's solo?
And
This I Swear?
Is that the song?
Oh,
No, the
This
one they
I
used on. No,
swear
that's This
to-
I Promise You by NSYNC.
Oh, that's I Promise
I
You.
was thinking that too.
No,
Yeah.
at the beginning of Newlyweds.
This I swear. Yeah, that must have been just him.
Maybe. Okay.
hate it.
All right.
I
Well, we know
will
that.
love you.
Love forever.
Oh my God. till the
No, you
end.
won't.
How
Nick
is he
Lachey, you
Southern?
lie.
Yeah, literally won't. Too intimidated by talent, but he's literally just found another woman to carry him.
For sure. And
Like,
she's
how-
Truly, and
did
I
he
think she's
end up-
getting tired of him.
I'm sure she is.
she's
I think
got
she's
her
tired
own
of him.
issues.
Tell us.
Tell us more.
Well, remember when she like did the Love Is Blind reunion and everybody freaked out because she was clearly fucking wasted?
Wait,
Was
she?
this the delayed one? I was meant to look back at this.
Which one? The last one?
Yeah.
With the mean girl?
Yeah, and people wanted her fired. Like it was like I think there was a
I thought
petition
they
or
just
something.
wanted her fired. I didn't know it was that she was wasted. I thought she was just being dumb because she was going after one person but leaving another person alone, just saying like, oh, I have to hold these people accountable, but then absolutely ignoring other people's craziness. Like
She allegedly has a drinking problem and like is a huge alcoholic and shows up on set drunk all the time and is like really mean and yeah.
Damn. Well, should have stayed with Jessica because she picked her glitter cup, didn't she?
Right.
That was one of my
Glitter
favorite
cup.
part of the books where she was like, I'll wake up and I make a vodka and Sprite and I put it in a little tumbler and I carry it to drive my kids to school. Like, whatever. And I was like, poor
Poor
go off,
Jessica.
girl.
I mean, I was like, anybody could fall into. I could see myself falling into that.
100%.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
100%.
When I was, because we listened to the book in the car, remember?
We did, coming back
Listened to
from
the
a
book in
road
the car,
gig.
and I just remember thinking like, that could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
That could happen
Totally.
to me.
Well, if you had to guess, like, what the attachment
If
situation
I was rich and I was just like chilling out at home and I had to do something once in a while and I had $1 million business, $1 billion business,
And all the trauma of
and
the
I had all
industry.
that trauma of the
100%,
industry.
gay father.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Is her dad out?
I
Mhm.
think so.
Yeah, I think so. He dates like really young male models.
Hmm.
Yeah. He's a photographer.
Surprise, surprise. I would
Yeah.
have never, wow, that's crazy. I would have never thought that. Yeah, that doesn't sound typical at all.
Well, do you think that Nick would be, to me, if we're talking attachment style, which is, am I an expert? No, but anxious, avoidant, or like both, and you're all mixed up.
Avoidant.
Avoidant, but also anxious. I think like anxious because he's like obviously needs a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he's like presenting avoidant and probably acts like it. But I think deep down, anxious as fuck and knows that he needs a woman, cannot be alone. That's my.
Well, also, maybe it's like he needs a woman because he knows he can't sustain himself
That's what-
alone.
Yes.
Is that what you
that's
mean?
part of
Yes,
it. Yeah.
Then I agree
Yeah,
with that.
I could see
For
that.
fucking sure. And
Yeah.
probably not emotionally either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wouldn't have looked at it that way, but yeah, you're right.
You know?
Yeah. Anxiety ridden. You know that he was
Yes.
tossing and turning at night. Like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Literally.
Nobody wants me.
Literally.
98 Degrees isn't even
Mm.
popular enough to like come back.
No.
Like, I'm not a popular, like, and he was the lead of that band. And even still, it wasn't like enough.
It
No.
wasn't enough.
No.
You know what I mean?
Nobody
insane.
really liked him.
Mm.
Well, if we think about like Britney and Justin,
Okay, I was just about to say that because you're thinking boy bands.
kind of similar.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
think that Justin would see it that way at all. I think he thought he was untouchable. And in a way, he kind of has been.
Uh-huh.
He's been
He has
right.
been, but I also think that like right now, nobody wants to touch him with a 10-foot.
But
Yeah.
has it really
He has-
affected him?
No, I mean, no, in the sense that his future in terms of like him being like selling out concerts and
Mhm.
performing
yeah, I
and
think that's kind of
dropping
over for him.
songs, I think is going to be really hard for him because I'll tell you, there is someone sitting here who feels so hurt and so betrayed
You?
and truly affected by how mean and nasty and negative he actually is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
knowing that she used to truly love him.
I know.
Well, I think that with him too, it's like he's so narcissistic and he's so, you know, he can't even let his wife like take a picture on a red carpet without doing a cartwheel behind her. Like he's such an
Yep.
attention whore
Yep.
that I really think it would affect him probably deeper than we could ever know.
Right.
Because he'll never be able to be as, he's so used to being like the funny, you know, he's the life of the party.
In what book was it? Jessica's? I think him doing backflips off the diving board at the Mickey Mouse
Yes.
auditions. I was like, of course he was. Like, just what an annoying little shit of a boy he probably was.
And like
Ryan Gosling's like already flirting and like being like, I don't know.
and like parachute pants.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So
Singing R&B.
yeah, literally.
doing body rolls.
He's like,
Hey,
girl,
girl.
come on
Yeah.
over.
Really.
For Dunzo, I used to review old VMAs and I would like rewatch them and like review them as if they were like had just happened. And the crazy thing about the VMAs that I rediscovered was like it was such a boys club, and it was so the way that they would like cater to these men like Eminem and Fred Durst
totally.
and like just these douchebag men, and they would give them this platform to be douchebags. Nobody more than Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
The MTV was so inside Justin Timberlake's anal cavity. I mean, like the way that the VMAs worshipped the doll, like they loved him.
Yeah.
And they would give him 10 awards a night, and he would perform 3 times. Like the year that Britney had that bad performance, the 2007 one, he performed like 4 times that night with Timbaland.
I did not know that. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
And this
But
is
see, I
like-
don't remember that.
This is
A lot
like
of people
sexy
don't.
back
I
era,
don't remember
too.
that, but I remember Britney.
Right.
And I always remember Britney. But I
They
also
were really
remember
hard on
watching
her.
that and being like, even at the time, and I was younger, and I remember watching her kind of do that, like, I was like, she tired. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
Totally.
So
She already
obvious.
gave you what she gave you, and
Yeah.
now she's just out here trying to collect her check.
Right.
And I wasn't even mad at her
Not
because
her
I
check,
love
babe.
that song.
Not her check.
What's his name's check?
Jamie's check.
Jamie's check. But you know
It's
what I
fucked
mean?
up.
It was really sad, but I was also like, people need to not make fun of her because they drag her so much and nobody helps her. And then finally, when everyone was like, free Britney, and she actually did get free, and then now she is free, people want to criticize her so much. And I'm just over here like, you don't know what she's been through.
I know.
You don't know.
Even worse is people who do know what she's been through.
And you're still
And it's
trying to criticize her.
invasive.
And they're like, why is she not doing music? Why is she not in the
That-
studio? Why is
that-
her? It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I know. And or even it's a little more nuanced, but like, what's wrong? Figuring out the Britney mystery and blah, blah, blah. Like when the cops
Yeah.
are called and everything. And even she's been like, I'm fine. Thank you. You guys need to lay off. Like my mental health is not like for the public's consumption. And it does get very I don't remember the word for like when a car accident's happening and everyone's like looking at it or whatever. Like it's very that.
Rubbernecking.
Yeah. Yes.
My
It's
dad
a
always
little bit
uses
of
that word.
that. And like, yeah, that's really unfair because,
Yeah.
and not that it's coming from a bad place, but I do think that, you know,
It's the,
people
yeah,
get
I
concerned.
understand that
and
people
you've
are
always
coming.
been very good about that. You always have Britney's best interest at heart.
I try.
You do 1000%.
I really do
1000%.
try.
You have never said anything that's because sometimes it's, you know, almost like trauma whore, like you know, people want to be close to her because they do love her in their way, but like pulling in her trauma to make them feel something is like
Yeah, and
very
it's
dark.
weird.
People love the broken bird of it all. Like they love like the broken doll thing of it all with
It's when
her
you're
and
playing
like
into like the culture that is like build someone up, tear them
Yeah.
down. Like even if you do love her, you're still playing into that.
I've also noticed too that it's like post Free Britney, like so many people have eyes on her that have never cared about her. Like they've never
Yeah.
had interest. They didn't
Exactly.
care about. They weren't even fans. They didn't like her music. They never.
But it's like now
valued
you want
her.
to speak on her actions.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you have all these opinions about the mental health of this woman that you didn't even know. You don't even know anything about.
Have you ever seen Plies? He used to be a rapper
Yeah.
from the South. He made the cutest video about Britney. He's like, leave Britney alone. I love Britney. Just dancing around in her panties. Tell Britney I said hi. Like, he's not joking. He's being so genuine. He's like, she's so carefree. She's just happy. She's enjoying herself.
It's true.
Leave her
It
is.
alone. Like, y'all jealous.
Let her spin.
Yeah,
Let
let
her
her spin
spin.
around and
Gives a
kind of
fuck.
do this all the time.
But also that
'Cause when I do
is
that at home, I have a good time.
Hello.
that and that is what she has always done. She
Hello.
is a choreo girl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She is doing what she has loved since the beginning
Yeah.
in a new medium that she's maybe less familiar with, like any person in their 40s, whatever. It's just, yeah.
And honestly, the way that I look at it is like in her book, she said that the way she feels about dancing is like how she feels close to God, right? Like that's how she's just her expressing herself. It's like, I don't know. It's not that deep. Like just let her
And
dance.
that's the thing. People, and you know what's crazy though? I think just as we get older, we don't allow ourselves, we don't allow sometimes our kids or people around us to like embrace just like joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doing
Unapologetic joy.
Unapologetic joy and just
Totally.
like let ourselves go anymore.
Yes.
Like I caught my dad doing this with my nephew, and I don't think my dad meant to do it with my nephew, but my nephew was like kind of like, you know, dancing around and like being silly. And my dad was like, Parker, like, cut it out. Stop being silly. It's like, stop dancing around. And I was like, why?
Right.
And I was like, and I don't, you know, my dad was just like, what do you mean? And I was like, why can't he do this? Does he have to do homework? Does he have to do something? Is he, why?
Just to pay a bill.
I said, does he have to pay a bill? I said, don't steal his joy. He's a child. He's a little black boy. So many people are going to try to steal his joy. Let him have this.
Yeah.
And I was like, Daddy, I don't want to get too deep on you, but I was like, you have to understand that people said that to you because they did not know any better and they thought that they were protecting you.
Yeah.
And they were trying to make you grow into being a strong person. But this is a different day and age. We don't have to do that with
We
Parker.
don't need that anymore.
We don't need that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And literally my dad was like,
Because what could you say to that?
he was like, fine. he
He's
literally
like,
was just
carry
like,
on.
he was like,
You scold him. Yeah.
but it just reminds me of how, like, what you just said, like, people seeing her doing this and being like, she's so crazy. And it's like, no, she's been through a lot of shit and she just wants to feel closer to God. She wants to feel joy.
Yeah.
Well, it also goes against what everyone else uses social media for. And I think that's what makes
She's
people
not trying to
confused.
look cool.
Hello. And everybody wants their celebrities to, this is like my favorite point from modern day Britney, is that everybody wants every celebrity to be relatable, right?
Mhm.
Like people are so mad at Ariana Grande right now because her current relationship is not relatable to anybody. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? People don't feel like they
Why?
can relate.
Because she stole that man?
Right.
The bitch is still men.
I think if he was
Hello.
hot,
There's
it would
some
be a
girls who
really
relate to her.
different story. I think
Hello.
it would be
you
really
think if he
different.
was hot, it would be really different?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Or if she was a fucking man, I'd like the amount of men that
If
we
she
talk
was
about
a man.
every week on our show that cheat, it is literally
Did you hear her
crazy.
new song?
insane. I did.
Yeah.
I love
Love it.
I
But,
feel
like-
bad for loving it, but I do.
Britney is truly relatable. And I think it actually makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To see a celebrity worth as much money as we perceive her to be worth
Mhm.
with like fucked up extensions and Kohl's shorts,
Mhm.
it makes people uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah.
like, do you want people to be relatable or not? Do you want relatability or do you not want it?
Or do you want
like
the
curated-
aspiration?
They want
Exactly.
a
Yes.
curated
yeah.
version of what's being relatable. They want a Kardashian kind of relatability.
Yes. A
They
Sophia
don't want
Richie relatable.
a Sophia Richie relatable, which is
The least relatable. For
Exactly.
literally everyone.
Exactly. But you're going to read this woman because she went to Target in sweatpants? Are
and
you
like,
joking?
have you ever seen like when she? I always think it's so sweet when she posts like her notes and she's like, I went to a restaurant for the first time.
Oh my
in a really
God.
long time, and I had this food and I did this,
And it was so beautiful
and it
and
was
blah,
so
blah,
beautiful
blah.
and everything.
It's
This lady was in
most endearing
captivity, and she now has a taste of freedom. She's like a little kid coming out of like, or like a person who's been locked up coming out into the world again.
Yeah.
Get that bitch some grace.
And let her be
Yeah.
excited about stuff.
Let her, because you not excited because you jaded and you got bills to pay and you grumpy and you
Right.
miserable and you see this lady with all this money who's just like, you know, wide-eyed wonder like a kid and you're just jealous.
I honestly
Honestly.
just think it shows that we've not made as much progress as we claim to have made with mental health and stuff and
100%.
the way we talk about it. Again, she is a reflection of the time always. Like you can always use her as an example of where we are. And I'm just like, we are not as progressive as we think we are.
We cannot
really
accept a
aren't.
non-curated woman
Yeah.
front facing, like on social, like publicly putting herself out there.
And all we
uncurated
talk
and
about is
honest.
trauma. So if you are looking at a woman whose trauma has been laid out for you, explained
For years.
for years, we have
In
20
multiple
documentaries.
documentaries.
Hello.
a book,
Like,
everything.
what
Like
more do you need to understand that she's been through it? And like
Mhm.
it doesn't always look so perfect. Like I feel like also with celebrity trauma, people are used to seeing it again curated in this
Mhm.
bow
Yeah.
and like I'm trying to think of a person like a Robert Downey Jr. kind of way, like a Drew Barrymore kind of way.
yeah,
Like it's like pretty, it's like perfect, and
Mhm.
Britney's is not. That's real trauma. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's truly unapologetic, raw,
that's
as
my
raw
family
as it
stole
gets.
from me. I can't
Yes.
speak to
My
them.
family
like,
stole from me. My husband stole from me. I mean, my first husband stole from me.
Then the
God
next
knows
one
what's
as
going
well.
on with that one. You know, the second one. Like everyone in my life that I've come in contact with, I've gotten close with, has literally stabbed me in my back. and I'm still fucking dancing, bitch.
And I've been sexually exploited my entire life.
My
and
entire
now,
life.
Top
And all I
dog.
want to do is roll around in my panties and shake my hair around. Leave me the fuck alone.
Right.
Leave
Well,
Britney alone.
And it also shows the one thing that we really, even like fans who love her, anyone who really cannot give her is privacy.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing that she would
Yeah.
really want and the one thing that would actually be good for her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yet like no one can do that for her.
I will also say, to play devil's advocate in
Sure.
a good way,
Mhm.
I do think, so I'm obsessed with child stars and I'm obsessed with like the mental whatever of child stars and how they shake out. And I do think that there's this thing that happens with child stars where they get so addicted to attention, whether it be negative or positive, that it doesn't really matter as long as they're getting, like they need that, their like
True.
tank to be filled.
Mm.
Like Aaron Carter, for example. Aaron
Yeah.
Carter for years could have not been on Instagram Live, but he was on Instagram Live being made fun of, being ridiculed every single day for the last like 6 years of his life. And like, I don't think that you can go from having like 70,000 people scream for you to then nothing. I just
Yeah.
don't think you
Damn,
can.
that is so true.
like obscurity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
It would
I
be
think
it's
that's like hell.
uncomfortable for them. Yeah.
even
Yeah.
just what you
And-
know, like
Yeah.
what you know life to be.
Right.
That would be really hard.
So I think
mean-
Britney has a hard time not being on Instagram, even though
Of
it's probably better for
course.
her.
She's
It's
like,
probably
nice.
better for her, but like I'm not mad.
That's what I'm gonna do next. Like
I know you
I
mean. But
love
also look at, you know what makes me sad sometimes? Amanda Bynes. I used to love her.
I think she would have at some point
Yeah.
had her own adult Amanda Bynes show, like a variety show.
how amazing
Yeah.
would that would have been?
it would have been amazing.
I mean, her talent, like I actually seriously think that she was like a comedy prodigy.
She was.
I really do.
She was.
I truly loved her. I thought she was so
Goofy.
funny.
Yeah. She was doing stand up at 8 and killing it.
And the characters
amazing.
were so good.
Yeah. Beyond, so like well thought out, like well executed. All of them were so nuanced. It was like wild that a child could even do that, you know? She was just, oh, I could cry thinking about it.
I know.
And I'm drunk now too, by the way.
Yeah. Welcome to the pod, Troy. Welcome. Carolina gets the tall boy cups. You can tell when Carolina get the ice cups because
Yeah.
This
gets
is
the
another
doubles.
thing that I love about New York is an ice cup.
Oh, I know. Isn't it
I
the
love
best thing?
an ice
Leaving
cup.
New York and going someplace and then them not having ice cups when you go into some, it's like, what's
Oh my
happening
God.
here?
that
I'm
and
obsessed.
unflavored seltzer.
Yes.
Maybe you find a Perrier or a Pellegrino,
Yeah.
but it's kind of rare.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's really hard.
Only Melissa. Maybe you get a Perrier or a
Such a
Pellegrino.
Melissa answer. I love it. Like a Pellegrino
I see
if
the
you're
truth.
lucky.
If
If
you're
you're
lucky.
lucky. What's that like Italian one you like? That comes with like the red, the orange and white
Pana.
label and it's a glass thing.
Pana.
Yeah.
I love
yes,
Pana.
yes.
I
That's
love
like
Pana.
hotel water.
Mhm.
That's her favorite.
That's
I-
bougie
That's
water.
her every day.
It's so
It's
good.
not I want it to be my everyday. Pana, please sponsor
You
us.
have
please.
Pana on a regular Tuesday at
love
like
it.
2 p.m. You're like, you
That's
walk in
so
and you have
funny.
like 3 bottles and you're like,
That's like
I
Four
mean
Seasons
it.
water.
There's something about glass that's
Yeah.
just like
It's
really
true.
nice.
It's true. Especially like a big one,
I
like the tall
know.
one.
that's the one she has.
Yes.
That's the one she's always carrying around.
That is so you. That is so you. I love it.
Me getting dragged and complimented simultaneously.
Truly not even a dragging. It's
I
pure
know.
compliment.
No,
You're
it's
sweet.
aspirational. You live an aspirational lifestyle.
Ooh.
Outside of my means is what you mean.
That's the only
You
way to do
spend
it.
money
Honestly.
wildly. Yeah.
Honestly.
It is hard.
Flying
Sometimes
by
when you
the
spend
seat of our
like a
pants.
$4, sometimes $5 bottle of water.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Ouch.
I know.
Ouchie.
I've become completely. New York really has like ruined me already.
With
'cause
the
I'm
prices,
like,
right?
Yeah, like I'm just like, you almost have to just let go and let God. Like there's just really, it's like you have to like not obsess over it
Yeah.
because you'll go crazy.
Or when you leave and you go somewhere else, you're like, oh my God, everything is so cheap.
Oh my God.
It's insane. It's
You're like-
insane.
I'm going back home next week. I'm going to Ohio next week, and I feel like I'm gonna feel rich.
You are.
I'm gonna feel like
you
a
mean the
wealthy
kombucha?
woman.
Nice.
You mean the kombucha's not $7?
Right. I can get a beer for
$7?
under $10. Like
Oh my
what?
God, when you go to a dive bar in your hometown.
And it's like $5-6 well drinks.
for everyone.
I'm gonna get
Drinks
so
for
drunk. I'm gonna
everyone.
eat so much. I'm gonna shop. I'm gonna do so many things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
excited for you. And I love going to, I'm not from the suburbs, but when I go to the suburbs, like I truly want to feel that experience. I want to go to a suburban mall.
Suburban
Yes.
I want to go to
Target.
Costco. I want to go to Target. I want to hit a
the
Walmart.
plazas.
I want to go to a plaza
Yeah.
where maybe I get like a sub.
Yes.
Or some pizza.
Or your
you know
nails
what I mean?
done.
Or my nails
Or whatever,
done.
yeah.
Whatever, you know?
Yes.
I want to go someplace like that. Yeah.
I
the suburbs.
love.
I don't want to
grew
live
up
there,
in
but
plazas.
I love the suburbs. In plazas? Yeah, I
Yes.
love a plaza.
Yes. Like to the point that like I grew up in a very suburban, very like minivan neighborhood. And we would just go to plazas. Like we would just go in middle school.
Mhm.
We would like go to Barnes and Noble and then go to Bed Bath and Beyond. Like,
Well, this sounds classy because I feel like when I was in high school, it was like, what are we doing tonight? Hanging out at 7-Eleven? Perfect.
well, that
See
too.
you
It's
there.
like let's go sit in the Taco Bell parking lot.
100%. That was a huge part of culture.
We didn't have plazas, but in Queens, in Forest Hills, there is a street that has like a Barnes and Nobles and like random kind of stores like that. It's a street and it has like all this, there's a Boston Market, there's a
That.
movie theater. There's all kinds of stuff over there. That was the place we used to go sometimes after school and walk down the street.
Yeah.
Or the Queens Center Mall.
It's funny the
I
way
got my
like,
ears pierced at Queen Center Mall at the
You
Claire's.
did at the Claire's and Queens
Yeah.
Center Mall downstairs.
And I said, could you
Wow.
do both at the same time so it doesn't hurt as much? And she goes, the babies do one at a time.
you said, bitch, I didn't ask what the
I
babies
said, I'm
do."
in Queens. I'm in Queens.
You're
I did
in
not ask
Queens.
what the babies did.
You're in Queens.
Carolina went to a dentist one time, got mildly numbed, not
Yeah.
fully. And Carolina's like, ow, that hurts. And what did he say? Something fucked up.
He was like, you're from Queens. You can take it.
Or
You're like,
you
I don't
know
want-
who I
I don't wanna
am.
take it
And he
though.
goes,
No.
and he goes, you're from Queens. You can take it. And you know who I am. Because we talked
a
about it.
bad dentist.
Because he was also from Queens. And I think it was like some kind of like Eastern European.
yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. Like, I was like, oh, are you from here? Are you from this part of Queens? He's like, yeah, I know the part of Queens. He's like, oh, you know that? I said, yeah, I know everything. So he's like, oh, you know who I am. You could take it. You're from Queens. I'm like,
I don't want to take
I don't want
it.
to take it. Thank you.
screaming, crying. I got in the car like to be with Hamide, and I was like shaking, crying. I was like,
You're like, and then he told me I could take it. And then he said it. He said, you know who I am.
I can't take it. I can't take
It's
it.
really bad.
Like, I don't want to take it even though I can.
No, thank you. Well, before we go, I do want to talk, even though this will come out next week. Today it was announced that Jacob Elordi is likely single. And he's on SNL this weekend.
Oh, really?
Which means it's gonna be an emergency. Like the rap party is gonna be the VMAs.
Oh, I'm gonna be making some calls. I'm gonna be making
We're
some
gonna be making
calls.
some calls.
We're gonna make some calls. And I'm supposed to take my nephew. So who gonna watch him? Because I already said I was gonna take it. So who gonna watch him?
That
Okay.
seems like a you.
We might
problem.
have to. Okay, let me recalibrate that.
Yeah,
let
you
me see if I
gotta
can take him
talk
on
about
Sunday.
that. But I feel like I'm not like.
I just want to see him
I want to see him too.
I want to see how tall he is.
I want to see how tall he is.
and how
I want to hear
handsome.
that little
Yeah.
accent. I want to hear it
Because
all.
I know he's so fucking charming.
Mm.
God. I would be
Forget
almost maybe
it.
scared to see it.
Do you remember when Jeremy O'Harris was posting all these? I don't know if it was stories or what of him and Ayo and like flirting their flirtation. I don't think they were really like flirting, but I think he was like, I ship them. I want them to be together, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, if there is only one thing that girl could do for me,
Yeah.
it is to take him down, to climb him like a tree.
Yeah.
But we know Ayo, like she, came up in New York doing comedy, and was like the little baby, love that child. When I
Yeah.
tell you, truly, no
Yeah.
one deserves it any more than
She
that girl.
seems like just
100
like the nicest,
Nice,
When I
sweetest.
tell-
sweetest,
funny,
funny,
kooky,
down
Yeah, goofy,
just perfectly
fun.
kooky now,
Yeah.
down to
really
earth.
kooky, and just like gets along with everyone. Angel baby face.
Yeah.
I was like, she better climb him like a tree. Do it for your auntie. Do it for your auntie.
Scary.
Is it?
What do you know about Olivia Jade? anything.
This is the girl who did the scandal with the college.
Exactly.
You know,
that's all I know
Uncle
about
Jesse's
her.
girlfriend's daughter.
Exactly.
yes.
Florida.
I don't really know a lot about her. We just use her as an example during our live shows as a barely there celebrity. Because she's
That's
like
exactly it.
not really famous, but she is.
Like, not a celebrity for sure.
Like you have to squint.
I want to know
figure it
how
out.
they
I would
even
not
came
recognize
together.
her on the street.
I wouldn't know. I would not know her on the street.
I wouldn't
There's
either.
absolutely no
And
way.
how did she land him? That's crazy.
And that's T. Because didn't he used to date, who is it before her? It was the model's daughter. Cindy Crawford's daughter?
Oh,
Kaya?
Kaya.
I think
Yeah.
that was Austin
Yeah.
Butler, no? Or did they date?
No. I think Austin Butler and Kaya are together now, but Jacob and Kaya, I think, did date. And I understood
That's
that.
a good couple.
Can I just say something really
That's
quick
a good
about Austin
couple.
Butler? I'll
Please.
never get over him being like Elvis changed me. Like his
We
whole
see
thing
that,
about how
yes.
his voice changed and he couldn't go back and his moves changed and when he walked, it was like you are literally
Whoa.
insane.
And you know what that reminds me of? Brittany and
Vanessa?
Crossroads.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brittany was like, I would love to do more acting. I can't because I completely become the character and it
Yeah.
affects my life.
But also, it's like, Brittany, that wasn't a stretch.
Right.
It
But
wasn't.
she talked about that with like the Notebook and everything. Like she was worried as she took more acting jobs
And
that
that she
it
was-
was
Yeah.
really gonna,
Aw.
yeah.
I know. I was like, when I read that, I was like, well, hopefully, if you had taken more acting jobs, they wouldn't write your family trauma
Mhm.
Totally
into the story.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally.
you know, with your mom and dad and like the whole
I
thing.
know.
It was Shonda Rhimes wrote Crossroads.
Sure did.
She sure did.
Crazy.
I know.
Yeah, Austin Butler will never be the same.
But also, the way that he
And
is,
Vanessa
Okay,
is
Vanessa
doing
Hudgens.
a voodoo doll into him.
I know
Like,
she
I-
is because she was with him for so long.
Yeah.
It's the classic ride or die. She was more famous than him
Yep.
for a long time, was dragging his ass out to all these fucking award shows and like
Coachella.
paparazzi. Nobody would know who he was. He was in what? He was in a YA TV show. I can't remember, Shadow and
High School
Bones, whatever.
Musical, right?
No, he was not in High School Musical. She was.
Or yeah.
He really was not
What
that
was he?
famous. Let's be real.
No, he wasn't.
And she
like-
dragged him out
But
into
he was
the
Disney, no? Or no?
No,
Not even.
no.
He was like nothing.
He was in a
Where
YA
did he come from?
series.
That
That
YA
you don't.
series.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
even
like
know
on-
what
was
is it
on-
called.
It was like WB, CW,
Okay,
whatever.
okay,
But it did
okay,
not last
okay.
long. It did not
Okay.
last
So
long.
much
He
sense.
is so CW.
So
extremely
CW.
As a
Okay.
former CW local host, watch Vampire Diaries weekends at 7, only on Pittsburgh CW. I will tell you, that is a perfect. He is probably the CW
And
star
that's who he was.
dream. That
And
is
Yeah.
the one, like the lottery winner, because those people they disappear.
kind of
They
disappear.
vanish.
So do you know that then he gets what's his name, starts dating Kira, and then is like seeing her Vanessa out and about and ignoring her.
Well,
TMZ,
I
Carolina
mean,
Teresa.
Just like a
are you a Vanessa girl?
I am a Vanessa girl. I like her.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I like her.
I'm
I
listen.
gotta stand for her. She's also Filipino like me. I'm
She's
not
very
actually Filipino,
talented.
but I am Filipino in my
I've
soul,
heard-
which I
is
know
it
I'm
an
not allowed
eighth?
to say. I'm an 8th Indian, but I am Filipino in my soul, and I
Okay.
know that I'm not allowed to say that, so I'm not saying it.
I'm not saying it.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Troy, this has been just a joy.
This was
has
so
been
fun.
Absolute joy.
Thank you so much for
Absolute
having
joy.
me.
Literally a pleasure and an honor. Where can everyone follow you and find your work?
Well, I host a podcast called Beyond the Blinds. We post every week and we also post 2 times a week. One of our episodes is always on Patreon, which is patreon.com/Beyond the Blinds, because we believe that episode will typically get us sued
Great.
or killed.
Love
So we
that.
put it behind a paywall.
Love that.
And you can follow me on the internet at Troy Jean Spears everywhere.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow, we should start paywalling because I think most of our episodes could
I
also
mean,
get
we
us
giving
sued.
a lot out for free. Also, I did want to just say one last thing. Our next show is February 2nd at Arlo Hotel in Soho at 8 p.m. Come
Cool.
see us.
Yeah. We love it. And
Love
use our
it.
hotel code.
Oh, yeah. Use our hotel code, which
It's
is
actually Ho with Feelings.
Ho with
Because Hoes
feelings.
with Feelings was too many letters.
Okay.
And actually, Ho with Feelings is kind of even better.
Ho with Feelings
'cause
works.
You are one.
So is that same thing for me?
Yeah.
We can cut now. We can cut.